doing a show with Dad.
Mr. Diddy, Mr. Diddy, Mr.
What's up, Jackie Jack? What up, what up, what up, fam? Yo, this is Brother Hot Tim coming at you live and direct. And of course, you know this is the place where your hustle build muscle, where the stubborn minority gathers to sit around and talk and chop up the wisdom so that we can strategize on how to win this thing. And of course, you know this is the place of the congregation of the mighty. So plug in and listen to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, y'all know this is a Heart of a Simba production. And right now we on Tribal Quotes. Come on, Simba. God, man. You got the easiest job in the world. Where we strive
to blow up your old paradigm.
I have been told by many people, and the people have spoken, Gina has been corrupting my show and stealing time at the end of my broadcast to go on and do her thing. She caught me slipping 2, maybe 3 times.
No, 14.
And all of a sudden now people are making comments like, she about to take your place. She wants your throne, man. You better watch her. She know how to do it all. She about to Steve Harvey you, boy. You going down. I said, nah, not Gina. Gina wouldn't be scheming on her dad, would she?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna about to find out though. But if you want to see her in action, you can get on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline where she come on after me and claims that she's taking over. She catch an old man slipping and taking advantage of old mannishness, right? And then, so we gonna cover a little bit of news. So me and Brother Kwame did Divine Conversations for the Tawi Family Village. It's called Divine Conversation, right? And we was talking about the spirit of Malcolm X, and Kwame did it his way. Of course, that's going to include mathematics, and I did it my way, talking about myth and, relating these things to people's real lives and stuff like that. So go and check that out. That's on the timeline, Divine Conversations. Also, on June 29th, we have the G&J Mall that's going to be popping off. So if you're in town, you in Columbus, make sure you come out and support the vendors. Come out and support our efforts. And of course, y'all know that the lines are open right away. So if y'all want to call in with some stuff, they did a little thing about the June tea, or what they call June, which is basically what we make over here at Gye-Nyame Journey. And eventually you're going to be able to get these products in the stores. But if you want the best shit, you need to get up with your brother. Because I might have to start doing what I told Jackie I wasn't going to do, was to start mailing stuff back out. You know what I'm saying? So I might have to grab some dry ice or something. Summertime is the worst time to be sending it out anyway. But I'm getting better at bottling it and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying, the timing is right and all that. So, we might be expanding to other states. You know what I'm saying? So, shouts out to Sister Jackie. She on the line. Thank you. And, of course, y'all know she gonna be commenting. She sometimes she writes for us. Sometimes she come on, she commentates. She always has some good news. She watches the news a little bit more than me, or at least has her pulse, has her hand on the pulse of the news a little bit closer than I do. I was running late because me and Clee was out in the garden. You can see pictures of the garden on my timeline or Gye-Nyame Journey's timeline. We got tomatoes, 3 different types of tomato plants. We got onions, we got cabbage, we got some collards, and we got a whole bunch of pepper. That last row over there by the Gye-Nyame symbol is a whole bunch of, we got 2 onions, we got banana peppers, we got 2 different types. We got green habaneros and red habaneros and jalapeno peppers out there right now. I'm trying to save space so I get me some more greens. I want a nice exclusive row of greens so that I could be picking off and we could be eating good while we commentating. So, also one of the things that hit the news recently was the sealed FBI audio tapes. Alleged Martin Luther King had affairs with over 40 women and watched while a friend raped a woman. We talked about that the other night. If y'all want to hit on that while we talking about these proverbs, we can. But the most important thing for me, or one of the things that stuck out with this, is that they published this in a business journal. It was Business Insider. Like I said, what that got to do with business? Reparations, big business, yeah. So the business magazines is watching what we doing and watching what we talking about here on the black media, right? The stubborn minority, we ain't fucking around. right? So, all right. We somebody posted up a nice little piece, and I want to read it. It says, "Long as the spirit of a warrior lives in the heart of even just one of us, the dance is not over." That's by Danielle Bolele. I think that's how you say it. Bolele.
No.
It's on the page. It got a little samurai warrior on there. Shouts out to Aaron Thomas. He said, "I'm right behind y'all." He got his greenhouse up, letting this stuff get ready inside the greenhouse. Me and Cleve got to get our production to where we are able to go and start doing the greenhouse and starting it from seeds, because it's a lot cheaper like that. I went on and got the plants. We was lazy this year, and I'm always late. So but one of the good things is I've been taking my old scobies and I put it out there on the soil. We had soil from last year. We've been stacking it up, and we went out there today, and everywhere our little shovel hit, there was worms and potato beetles. The soil was alive. So that means that for over the last couple of years, we've been doing the right thing. So we're going to have us a nice, beautiful harvest. Plenty of tomatoes, plenty of peppers, plenty of greens. Hopefully the cabbage come in. I also got some, we're going to experiment and try to grow a watermelon out there. And I'm going to give me a couple more watermelon plants out there. Just going to try to take advantage of all that small space. We're doing a little bit different this year. Last year we did the square foot thing, and because we can't get all around it, it's not good. So we had to leave rows this year so that we could go on and walk up and down the rows without destroying our plants. Sister Jackie say, "You better be watching these lies about the Martin Luther King piece." Now, regardless of the lie piece, I'm more concerned about why they're dropping that information out right now. And we got to understand they're always going to be throwing out smoke screens. You know, the one thing I would say about them bringing out this stuff about Martin Luther King, it don't do nothing but confirm one thing for me, that he was human. You know what I'm saying? It don't change my perception of his work. It don't change my perception of what he did for the people. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, that he who is without sins cast the first stone. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of motherfuckers is gonna get up here and be trying to ride on his back about the shit that he done. You know what I'm saying? It's very few that can match his track record, whether you agree with him or not. You understand what I'm saying? So, so that for me, that don't do nothing but confirm it makes him realer to me, right? So hey, but I was just very interested that this shit came out in Business Insider, and actually, the paper was supposed to be published today. So I'm gonna have to go out and get that article. She said, "You better be watching these tariffs and sanctions this damn chump is putting on everything. Follow the money, you will find the crime." GM and Ford are talking about merging just to compete with what China and Japan putting down. Now he's slapping tariffs on Mexico. Y'all better find a way to communicate outside the damn cell phone. Everything about to be outside our economic reach. Yeah, well, that could be. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to say this. Far as the policy with the trade and stuff like that, now he might not be totally crazy about throwing the tariffs up on China, right? Because like China, because really when it comes down to it, we are China's number one customer, and China is taking advantage. So hey, it is what it is. So we're gonna see how it works. We're gonna see how it pans out. And everything for a majority of ADOS, everything is already out of financial reach, and we still able to get that shit, right? Yep. So shouts out to whoever else is on the line. But we're about to get into these quotes. Let me drink my water, because I'm on day, I don't remember what day I'm on.
You're on day 5.
No, this day 4. Tomorrow will be day 5.
Yesterday was day 4.
Yesterday? No, yesterday couldn't have been day 4, was it?
Yes.
No, today was day 4.
No.
Yesterday was day 3.
Daddy, day 3 was...
We started on Moja, Kujichagulia, Ujima. Ujama, we on day 4. We moving into day 5 of my 21-day Nguzo Saba challenge. My personal challenge is fasting, and guess what? We're cooking with steam right about now. So now the lines are open. 614-556-4535. You call in and join the conversation. Tribal quotes. I read the quotes this morning. Let me find my book. Gina, get my book over there. We are on day 73. Oh, come on, baby. You can't be putting your feet on all my shit, man. We're going to pour some, thank you. We're going to pour, you getting up there? Come over on this side. Sister Jackie says there are some serious crimes that would be aired out if they followed Trump too far down the hole. White privilege is on deck, and I love that it's being exposed. I love that it's being exposed because for so long, because I was talking to one of my coworkers because a lot of people. When the young people, you ain't got to hold it up like that. It's mic'd so they can hear you. A lot of people are. Oh, let me start the conference call again. I don't know what happened. A lot of people are upset about the whole people saying the ADOS thing.
You are the first
Americans, descendants of slaves.
Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
Now, the reason the Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore came out with that was because of the specific claims that we have against the United States. And part of that piece is that this whole white privilege thing is built on the backs of our people. We need to be clear on that. This whole white privilege thing is built on the backs of our people. And the whole white privilege comes with them being able to stand on our backs and develop all these industries. Right? Now, what ADOS did, I need to stress this over and over again, it gives good night. It gives people an identifying term for our specific issues, which is a very powerful thing. Because if you are able to name it, you are able to claim it. And what they have been made it possible for us to do, what these young people have been able to do with this ADOS movement, is to make it possible for us to be able to claim an identity that is clearly ours, and it clearly talks to the struggles that we had here in America. American descendant of slavery. I just wish it would be adult. ADOT. Oh, you said ADOTE. What does it? Americans, descendants of the what's adote?
Adote.
What does it mean? Go on, write it out. I know you over there typing. Type it out.
I'm typing it out right now, dude. Enter. Did he enter it yet?
So, I'm going to let Jackie finish typing out. While she typing it out, we're going to go to the Proverbs. We coming from a book compiled by myself, Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes. American descendants of the enslaved. Oh, I don't know.
That's wrong.
I just wrote it above twice. I ain't see it twice. I ain't see it. I don't see it nowhere. Let me see. Maybe it's popping up on.
What are you looking for?
My mouse. Alright. I don't see it up there. Let me go over here and maybe it's on here. Nope, I don't see it nowhere, Jack. Well, anyway, fam, here we go. Let's get back to it. So, I don't know the enslaved. Well, I mean, it's all the same. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna say it's all the same because obviously you see some difference, and I know you about to explain it. That's what it says right after I said adote. No, it don't. No, it don't. No, you didn't. Stop it. It's moving slow then. All right, so let's get into these proverbs. No, it is not. Damn. Why you gotta always, god damn, Detroit niggas, god damn. That Detroit shit be, ooh.
Why do you have to do it separate?
Huh? She trying to let us know that it's not slow. She said no, it is not, just to prove a point. That's you gotta if you're gonna take over the show, you gotta be quick with it, girl. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know.
But you could just base.
She wanted us to know that it's not moving slow. So she put it in there, one right after the other. No, it is not. Big difference. Okay, well, Jackie, I'm quite sure you're going to call in and explain the big difference. You know. All right, here we go. And then on top of that, we got our own show. We got our own platform. You know what I'm saying? We got our own platform. So we've gone and, discuss it. Shit. All right, here we go. Day 73. Oh, my fault. It's not day 73. It's day 72. I fucked up. All right, it's day 72. Benjamin Disraeli. The greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. Benjamin Disraeli. The greatest good you can do for another is not to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. The mics are on and put it down. Why would you do that? Number 2, write injuries in the sand, kindness in marble. You right. You have week 73. Well, I mean, it's the 73. It's actually the second. Baby, if you don't get you coming up here? Mm-hmm. Come on. Yay. I'm so glad it's so easy to satisfy y'all right now because I know what's coming. Shit. I've been here before. Come on.
She said Gina's right.
Don't read that. She trying to throw dissension amongst the ranks. I'm not having that.
It says Gina's right.
Alright, so write injuries in the sand, kindness in marble. That's an English proverb. And the last proverb of the day is you can't stop your ear from hearing, but you can stop your mouth from talking. Once again, you can stop your ear from hearing, but you can't stop your ear from hearing, but you can stop your mouth from talking.
So you can shut up.
Yeah, that's right. You can shut up. That's right. Who drinking my water? Why y'all drinking my water? I got all this water around the house. Y'all drinking my water. All right. So, family, I need a number between 1 and 3. Number between 1 and 3.
It's 4. 16. 4.
A number. I'm talking to grown folks. Because obviously y'all don't understand.
26.
A number between 1 and 3.
3.
All right. Gina said 3.
3.
You can't stop your ear from hearing, but you can stop your mouth from talking. That's a very good one. Call in number 614
556
556.
4535.
Say it again for them, ladies.
654 209 5312.
Say it right, girl.
614-556-4535. 614-209.
Baby, if you don't know the number, stop. You about to be escorted out of the black cave. Keep it up.
Hey, you can't kick me out. I'm work here.
Oh, okay.
I worked here for
614-556-4535. Once again, the number is 614-556-4535. Those that would want to call in and conversate, we are on proverb number 3. You can't stop your ear from hearing, but you can stop your mouth from talking. So this is done in the Gina, you want to say something about that one?
What did you just say?
You can't stop your ears from hearing, but you can stop your mouth from talking.
It's interesting.
Your name is not Gina.
Sounds nosy.
It sounds nosy?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain?
Because you're listening to if you're listening like a girl folk talking to his friend and he just that's nosy.
Oh.
This call is being
I do
recorded.
that almost every day.
Oh, you do that almost every day? You know what this means? You can't stop your ear from hearing, but you can stop your mouth from talking?
Oh, she cannot stop her mouth from talking. I cannot do that.
Yeah, you can. We all have control over our mouth. But we have been joined on the line from the Washington Zone, Maryland. And of course, we know who this is. It's the fabulous, magnificent, beautiful Miss Jackie. What's going on?
You just don't want me to cuss. I love my nieces. They so smart.
Oh, don't big their heads up. You know, it's hard enough. They get enough love around here, and I see you trying to show some dissension amongst the ranks. Yes, you have many aunts and uncles all over the country. You are blessed. You know what I'm saying? You are blessed.
You don't say that every day. That's right.
I am blessed.
Yeah, you're blessed as well as the children.
I'm blessed to have you as my brother and them as my nieces because they smart.
So, Jackie, you calling in to talk about this proverb, or you calling in to talk about the Adote?
No, I love the proverb. That's number one. Gina was breaking it down for you, but you wasn't listening. So,
well, you know, sometimes you got to break the rules of the proverbs to learn. You know.
Sometimes you don't gotta listen.
I can dig it. I was jumping in because messed up my whole script over there to the right, where I was talking about the difference between being called slaves and enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
Brother B's been rolling together too long for you not to know the difference.
Go ahead.
I'm surprised.
Go ahead. Hey, don't start arguing with shaming me. Don't try to shame me into agreement. But go ahead. That's slick.
First of all, you made a very good point about why they came up with it. The language of having that said is powerful. The descendants, the American descendants of the enslaved, is very important, that language, because if we refer to ourselves as slaves, we dehumanize ourselves before we can even make our case. So you have to make sure that when you speak of our ancestors, we know that they were humans that were enslaved. They were not slaves. It's different.
Ooh, I hear you. So now, actually, I said it wrong, because actually the way I like to say it is American descendants of slavery. You're right. I shouldn't have said descendants of slave. But I hear your point. But the basic idea behind the whole thing was because the basic idea is giving an identity to our specific claim against this country.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And
exactly. But I think also that people had a problem with it because when you talk, I remember the last time we had this conversation when people were bringing up, folks that were like the Japanese over here on the railroads and, lumping other folks into our situation.
right.
And when you speak of America, it really, people are clouding the issue if they want to bring in anybody else. Because it's clear that when you talk about slavery in America, you're talking about black folks.
There you go.
But and technically, they have a point on the other side with the folks that were brought in on the railroad and kept in internment camps and that kind of thing.
Right, but like I said, once again, that's a little bit different than slavery because those people were not hijacked and brought over here. A lot of those people made a choice to come over here, and on top of that, there are very few people because when you look at our situation is so unique that any argument can be blown out the water. There is no other group that has been over here longer than us. No,
except the Native Americans.
Except for the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? So really, when it comes to talking American, the actual blood, the way I like to put the actual blood sacrifice in order to consecrate this country, comes from the Native Americans and us. The blood, the actual blood that made this soil ours, that made this our country, or America as people know it today, is us. So the only, really, and with the institution of America, there was only us and the others. Now, other people start coming in later, and they will want to get in on the gravy train, get on what they would call the gravy train. But the way we stop that is by them not being able to trace their lineage straight back to chattel slavery, not to slaves, but to the people that were enslaved, as you say. You know what I'm saying? Because because like I said, all our situation, and then on top of that, no other people has had legislation worked against them from the very government that they had served in the way that we have. You know what I'm saying? So
this is another important conversation about being American. When the only time African American actually has some relevancy is when we're actually still here on our soil.
right,
To call yourself American descendants of the enslaved, well, it gets real murky when you leave this country because even when we go home, we're still American.
right.
And the only thing that's dividing us is not color, but privilege of the Americans. And so that brings me to my
I like this one.
my theme for one of your shows. Maybe not tonight, but I would love to hear you talk about how we became so disassociated from being American and how we need to reclaim being American.
Jackie,
To first, yeah.
you hitting on some major shit because I have been driving in my car thinking about this whole piece. You know what I'm saying? Because for years, I wouldn't even call myself American. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Giving away my birthright. Because even when I went home, I wasn't home. The only home that I know is here. We are bound by circumstances and by blood and by toil. We are bound here. And many of us go into these illusions talking about we're going to go elsewhere when in every war that has sustained this place we have been involved with. Every step of building this place we have been involved with.
And even the point of the war fought on this own soil. The Civil War, we fought against ourselves for slavery.
That's right. That we fought on both sides.
with those who would want to kill us for fighting for slavery, with them in that subject.
So it's like, yo, so now part of the whole disassociation piece was that it's sort of like it in the movie The Great Debaters. Denzel did a poem, and I can't. I think it might have been by Richard Wright, where it talks about I'm the younger brother, and right now I eat in the kitchen, but as I grow stronger, one day I will be at the table. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, because America had rejected us and done us wrong, far as the government structure, far as the torment, far as our shame, because what we got to understand, for us to be ashamed of our ancestors' plight and to neglect it and not to really study it and learn about the resilience and be like, I'm not a descendant of that, and trying to, it was a shame that caused us to turn away from that. And in a sense, it's sort of like as a people being totally reborn, because really when we was brought over here, we were pulled away from the different tribal organizations, pulled away from the different clans, pulled away from the different kingdoms, and in a sense put in a forge and melted and molded into something totally new.
Now,
huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, and I definitely don't want to shame you, but I'm about to bring some HBCU education to you right quick.
Go ahead.
Since I got one foot in the Big Ten and one in the HBCU that can teach my brothers at the Big Ten. Anyway, the poem you're referring to is called I Too, and that's by Langston Hughes.
Langston Hughes.
And it's right, and it's very important, that poem, because it's about us. We learned that in Dr. Sheffy's class. Somebody of what professors I referred to in a post earlier today about my nephew graduating. But anyway, I Too Sing America is what he was saying in that poem, to make sure that we realize how this is our soil, and that knee-jerk reaction to our treatment in this country should not shed us of that citizenship. And that's our fault. We felt like we should let it go, I don't know, either under certain conditions, terrible conditions that we were made to give up our birthright, as you say. But that poem is I Too Sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, just see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. It's a very important poem. Very important poem by Langston Hughes. It gives us roots.
And
because it's saying basically, if I remember correctly, that we are having a conversation. That's tomorrow. We're at tomorrow right now.
Right.
Table.
Right.
I'm eating at the table for real. I'm not eating under the table. I'm eating at the table.
Go to bed. That's right.
I'm growing. We're growing. We're not supposed to be shedding our citizenship. We're supposed to be gaining our citizenship. And we had a conversation this weekend at the Memorial Day cookout. Me and my sons were talking about those dudes that have been in the military. And at one time, when I was living in California doing that youth and militarism training, we were all about we were all about learning why we should not enlist, and trying to get also get some benefits for those veterans from Vietnam and those refugees that were in this country hiding. We did all that. But anyway, it's very important, like you say, that we don't give up our birthright, that we understand and stop thinking through angriness, because the angriness has robbed us of a lot of stuff.
And how many relationships have we messed up out of anger? How many bad decisions have we made as individuals out of anger? This goes back, bringing it back to the proverb real quick. You can't stop your ear from hearing, but you can stop your mouth from talking. Sometimes when you're angry, it's best to settle back and to listen, right? Because
I don't
go ahead.
I don't know if you tell your children this, but we tell our children all the time. That's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
So that you can listen.
Do more listening than talking.
Right. Especially when you're in an emotional state, whether it's anger or joy, because both of them, you fuck up a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Moving on your emotions.
Right.
And we were in our emotions, which we should have been. And that, like I said, that's like a phase of growing up as a people, because what we have to understand is, going back to what I was trying to say, is that we are a new being. You know what I'm saying? We are something that has never really been on this planet in a while, because we are in a sense, actually, I described it as being the son of man. You know what I'm saying? Because we was formed here, and for a long time, the son of man had no place to rest his head. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's no home for the son of man, because in a sense, we were molded and shaped by this shit. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
And in that, being ashamed, we started turning our back on what was ours, rather than which is part of adolescence. Because think about it, when you're growing up as a people or as an individual, bring it back to the individual, there might have been times when you was coming through your life where you didn't want to be part of the family that you was part of. You thought somebody else's family was better and you wanted to go over there. Until you start growing up and you start realizing, well, damn, they had it like a shit. They had it just as shit. Actually, their family was worse than mine. You know what I'm saying? And as we mature and we come to a point where we are right now, we say, shit, this is my house. This is where I live. This is my mama's house. This is where my mama lived. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you know, we going to start taking care of it. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to extract out of it what belongs to us. You know what I'm saying? But many of us want to act as, because I'm one of those, I never been deep into the either or. I understand that we got to still get out here and hustle. We got to still get out here and build. We got to still get out here and do as much as we can for ourselves. But that does not stop us from holding those that are responsible, because this government sanctioned a lot of the practices that held us back. A lot of practices that kept our grandmothers and grandfathers from actually being able to build wealth and compete in these so-called free markets. The markets wasn't free for us. As a matter of fact, you know, the markets, they started the markets on us. They continued to build the markets on us. And in a sense, they just became open for us as a group. Now, individuals have been able to slip through, but as a group on the whole, we have been denied our rights, our full rights of citizenship. And that's all we saying, family. Because you could go and live in illusion, but you know what I'm saying? Anywhere you go, you're going to be a visitor. When I heard Jackie.
But not here.
Huh? But not here. Because you said something on your timeline one time. You said, I am a dual citizen of Maryland.
Oh, I have dual citizenship between Detroit and Baltimore.
Between Detroit and Baltimore, right? And it's like, you know, because I was like, because that shit really hit me, because it's like, shit. I mean, because you well traveled. I done traveled around the world, traveled all over the country. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's truly no place like home. I love Ghana, man. Y'all got to, but Ghana, it's something missing when you go to a place and your roots are not necessarily there. There's a loneliness that settles on you as you start seeing other families come together, and they might accept you as family and they might love you because my experiences over there have been very good. Don't get me wrong, but when I come home, it's a whole different thing. I mean, when I went to Africa, I was able to come back and I was able to bestow gifts on my grandparents. I was able to have a baby over there and bring that baby that I named after my grandfather, have my grandfather meet that grandbaby. Even though I would love to go there and live live over there, most of my family is over here. Most of my friends are over here.
Right.
So I mean, shit, you know. So bringing it back to the proverb, you can't stop the ear from hearing. And I think a lot of times what happens is in these type of discussions, you get people who totally shut off their ears and just be trying to be heard. I'm Pan-African. I'm blah, blah, boom. And it's like we're hearing the screams of an immature political philosophy. Something that was good for the 60s, but for now, good for the 70s, good through the 80s, even good in the 90s, because we had to get to a certain level. We had to get enough people to experience, well, damn, some people do, even though they look like me, they do treat me different. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you feel it.
Oh,
It's
man.
something you feel that they're not articulating. And even when you interact with Africans here, even though you might have a great relationship, you still feel like the white boy in the room. Like they trying to teach you something.
Right.
You know. Let me say this. The other theme, I mean, there's so many great topics you could be talking about, and you be on here for hours. The one that is really, really digging in my crawl right now is our kids are so confused. Y'all don't have, I think Columbus has this big Somalian population, right? That's like the biggest foreign group.
Maybe we might be the second in the country because it's bigger in like Seattle or somewhere like that. I think Columbus might be up there now.
But I'm just talking about the foreign population that you would deal with on a regular basis there in Columbus.
Right.
See, here, of course, on the East Coast, we deal with multiple, it's very diverse with Africans and all parts of Africa.
Right.
Not just like Nigeria. So my kids go to school and my son says, oh, he didn't feel comfortable wearing a dashiki to see Black Panther because that's cultural appropriation. And I was like, who the hell taught you that?
Right. Hey.
I was livid. And this is what the Africans are putting down at school. This is how confused and uneducated they are on history and who they are. And I don't know who is, I think it may be a parental issue. They people telling them this, and this is what they bring into school. I don't know, but this is a totally new something that I'm seeing, and I just couldn't believe it. And they also are. My husband said to him, "Well, did you tell them that they couldn't wear them polos to school or them jeans to school?"
But your husband made an excellent point.
Right.
I mean, because because we do get treated as outsiders, and that's the beauty of the title of identifying the American piece. Because man, Well, go ahead. I know you wasn't finished because I mean, go ahead.
No, I'm finished.
Because that whole because they even have in some places they even have words for us. You know what I'm saying? But the word designate us as different, and I understand because in a sense, even over there, they have different words for different tribes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my wife is a way, but she got friends that are friends, but they are still Ashanti, and she have friends they're still friends, but they Fanti. She have friends, but they still friends. You know what I'm saying? But they're Ga. You see what I'm saying? There's different groups, and what we have, what the whole term ADOS or Adulti or how we look at it gives us an opportunity to do is this is the tribe that we come from. So then we have a little more ground to stand on when motherfuckers come at us with cultural appropriation or they come because many of them are being
experienced that?
Huh?
Have you experienced that? Like, is that something going on with your kids as well?
Well, my kids kind of they got a strange. My kids is us and them. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, my whole family is my whole family is ADOS, but their mother's side of the family is Ghanaian. So now I have heard.
But I'm saying, are you having that because their mother is from Ghana? Or is there some of that going on where that conversation has come up with family members on her side, or I don't know, something to make them feel? I don't know. I guess because they are part Ghanaian, then they probably wouldn't deal with that. But with these kids being African American, they deal with this whole, really, you just American.
You really just American. See, now the issue with my kids is that being in the situation I'm in, hell, I can't get to Maryland. So they ain't going to Ghana right now. So they will experience some of that when they go to Ghana because they're going to hear it in their voice. They're going to see it in how they walk. They're going to see it in how they interact. They're going to see it in their habits and some of the things that they do. And they're going to definitely experience that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not from family members, but from other people. Because one of the things that my wife told me was that one of the problems that she had with even having friends here was that many people felt uncomfortable coming around me because I was African American, because of the stereotypes that go along with that, because of the violence that go along with that. And I have also understood that certain motherfuckers have used the word Akata to describe me, and I'm like, point them out. I'm going to go on and extract some American justice out their ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I want you to call me that to my face. You know what I'm saying? Because because they have terms, and that's a very disrespectful term. You a wild animal. You a wild cat. Cat without a home. You know what I'm saying? I do have a home, motherfucker. You standing on the soil that consists of you standing on my litter box, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But the piece is you run into that. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the issues is that a lot of people are feared others. I'm not one of those that really necessarily do that. But like I said, I have a very low tolerance for just you being totally disrespectful to me or to mine.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. And I would prefer them not to, but they're gonna have to learn how to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to learn how to deal with that.
That's the thing, that the kids and a lot of adults, if you don't travel and get out and see the world and at least talk to people from other places, you don't understand that concept. It's totally foreign to you, pun intended. It is totally like, what the hell you mean that we Americans? Especially for those of us that are still pissed off about being called American.
Right. And
that's something really from my parents' era,
Oh yeah.
That far back as I can think, that this whole thing about not being Americans and not putting our flags up, at holiday time and this and that. We got plenty of black lives in the ground from
hell yeah. and supporting this shit.
Why wouldn't we? Yeah, why wouldn't we put our flag out in front of our door? And then, what is going to happen when you come across the less, the less educated on the concept? When you do put your flag out there and you a black person, they immediately think you a Trump supporter.
Not only the
so foolish things like that.
Right, and they once again they can't stop your ears from hearing, but they can stop their mouth from talking. But they refuse to stop their mouth from talking. They stop listening and start arguing, and that's usually when you run into those people that are totally ignorant. Because what's happening a lot with this movement is that we're running into momentary Pan-Africanists, people that don't understand, that I believe don't really understand the fullness of the idea of Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they come up with these illusions of that there will be a one African uprising pulling on the diaspora, and all of the pieces of Africa will miraculously come together. And they don't even see the fact that we are trendsetters, and what we do sparks other shit. So if we are able to at least get America discussing the idea of reparations in America, what the fuck can other countries do? You understand what I'm saying? Well, you know, what's going to happen when black people look at what we're doing here and start saying, well, damn, hey, you know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, it's happening. The European Union right now is looking at the whole reparations piece. You know what I'm saying? And even before us, CARICOM, the Caribbean islands, have been reaching out, talking to, and you know, y'all gonna pay. Y'all got to pay. You know what I'm saying? And you got people that have never been to Africa, right? Screaming Pan-Africanism. Family, come on.
Right.
How you gonna argue with somebody that done traveled there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you got local beefs and in a sense international beefs that's popping off over there. Shit that you couldn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? Think the Crips and Bloods is bad. You got to see some of the shit that be popping off. And the whole piece is, and people are like, well, we've been drawing Crips and all, but we got to realize that we still, even Africa as a continent, and even back in the day, we had Africa split up with groups that could get along and groups who couldn't get along, and people had family identities and tribal identities, and those were important, and they still are important. But go ahead, Jackie.
That's one thing that we will never understand when we leave off our own porch. Because we feel, going overseas is similar to me going down any further south than Maryland. For instance, I have always said I will never, ever live any further than the Mason-Dixon line going south. Because it's like we all share this soil, but in the South, the atrocities get so great, and the people are so intermingled and woven together in that hateful past that they have an understanding that we will never have with them down there. Like, when you read that book, you said, I think you read it already, the
Warmth of Other Sons?
Warmth of Other Sons.
Yeah. Motherfuckers was running for their life. Motherfuckers was running for their life because they stole some fruit out of a tree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. You running to other, these folks moved to other parts of the country because they couldn't take it, but at the same time, they left whole families behind that was cool with it. Not cool with it, but could not see themselves someplace else. So the culture grew out of that, and they have an understanding. Like, you got black and white folks down south in Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, great friends, but there's a boundary.
Right.
but understood boundaries
Right.
in those relationships. Okay, same thing with white folks on wherever. Because the one thing that I always talk about is how white folks enslave themselves first. That's something we have to first understand who they are. They are barbaric. They have little resources, and they pirate. They come from a pirate culture.
Right.
They about to go out into this world, hook or crook, die, beat each other down, however they got to do to get to them resources. What we have to understand is, in that, if we look at it from that perspective, they ain't discriminators. They about cutting each other down too.
Oh yeah, that's
They
shit.
don't play when it comes to resources.
Now the one piece you bringing up an important point that a lot of people don't, that I don't think a lot of people grasp. We provided a diversion from them killing each other.
Word.
We are a diversion.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
If you watch games in New York, you'll understand that real clear, real quick. That's a good movie to check out about their origins here in the United States and that whole thing when it comes to resources and what they are willing to do to each other. They don't respect each other's culture. I mean, look at the Irish and the Scottish and the English.
Shit.
And their whole history behind Christianity and Catholicism,
Right.
and how they have been fighting for. I mean, they talk about Palestine and Israel.
Shit.
These mofos been getting down for centuries too.
For centuries. But you know they able, because they control the media, they able to cover that shit up. They, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not only back in the day that they had a 100-year war, we are old enough to remember where there will be news reports of bombings in Ireland and
Right.
you know what I'm saying? The IRA. Me and you old enough to remember the whole IRA shit where motherfuckers would just do suicide bombings and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm just saying that our whole system in the United States, when you talk about, one thing people don't want to talk about is not the mulatto situation, but the interweaving of how slavery worked, the system of slavery and how it worked, and the soil that we stand on, and the ocean that we get in that still has the energy of slavery in it. And we are all bound in it. We are one family. But when you talk about black folks and the Pan-African black nationalists, they ain't buying it.
They
You can't even bring
at
that up. You can't even bring that up. You know,
you could bring up we as a black people are being one family, but you can't bring up the boundaries between tribes, because for some reason it's almost like we have an illusion and an expectation of the world that other people are not, that they don't have. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not following. Because when I was talking about all of us being bound by it, there is an excellent book, another book I have to throw out there for your audience. Everybody in this country should read Family by J. California Cooper. And it explains exactly what I'm talking about and the feelings I had growing up. And understanding that we are all interconnected by slavery. They have a story and we have a story, but all of us have the same story. You know what I mean?
Right.
We are still talking about slavery and how it has impacted our relationships and who we are as humans in the world.
So the name of the book, once again, put the name of the book up.
Yeah. You want me to type it up?
No, I'm about to type it up while you're talking. It's called book.
Oh, okay. It's called Family.
Family.
Mm-hmm.
By
J. California Cooper.
By who?
J. California Cooper.
Is this a story in a story format like the Warmth of Other Suns?
No. It's a novel.
Okay, cool. All right. So,
And it's not
well, let me
even
ask you
that-
this,
it
because
ain't
this
even
this your this your genre. Let me ask you this: what would
J
you
is
get?
an initial, it's not written out. It's just J, the initial, like for Jacqueline.
Okay, cool. All right. Oh, I can't go back and correct that. J. Cooper.
Right. J. California Cooper.
All right. What would you consider Warmth of Other Suns? Is that a novel?
No, that's a nonfiction.
Okay. All right. So now
It's a nonfiction book written so poetically that you might think it's a novel. But these are true stories. These are real people.
That shit was hot. But
yeah, she's a great author. Isabel Wilkerson is no joke. She's fire.
But hey, we was only able to cover one tonight. I ain't gonna hold the people up. We're gonna try to keep it to an hour because I'm fasting and this ambrosia is running through me. I want to thank you, Jackie, for joining us. Family. Speaking of family, Sister Jackie out of Maryland has put a book up, and one of the things that we are able to do because we have our own format is hell. We throw our books on here all the time. Shit, in a minute, we might be able to start reading some of these books and having discussions about them on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because
I want you to definitely have that one.
Because, once of us sons, because Jackie kept saying, you got to read that one. I ain't going to read that shit. So I went and got it on Audible. And as soon as I turned that shit on, I was locked. Like, see, now, Jackie, have you read the book called The Half Has Never Been Told?
The Path or The Half?
The Half Has Never Been Told.
I haven't read that. Slavery.
Oh my God.
I know that's about slavery and capitalism or something like that.
Let me say this. I think you would like it because he not as good as the woman that wrote More from Other Sons, but he incorporates storytelling into presenting you with the facts. Not as good as Malcolm, because you got those writers like Malcolm Gladwell, like the what's the sister's name that did Warmth of Other Sons? They have a particular they have a particular style that gets you into the story, but feeds you facts that you can actually use in a discussion. That
is a gift.
Malcolm Gladwell is real good at that. The dude that wrote 48 Laws of Power is real good at that. The lady that and you're gonna get mad at me because I can't remember her name again, that wrote Warmth of Other Sons is good at that. And that's Isabel Wilkerson is real good at that. The dude that did The Half Has Never Been Told is a great storyteller too. I mean, because he integrates the story of other people.
That's Baptist, right?
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah. I've heard of it, but I've never read it.
Because
I think it was on, we watch Book TV.
Okay.
On the weekend, on Sundays, Book TV. I think he was on there, and that's how I heard of that book. It's a few years old. I know,
but that shit
like a couple years back, it came out.
And he has a piece in another book that I'm struggling through right now, because some of the writers get facts, but like when I got to his, he started breaking down the story of the individual involved. Then he go back and put the facts on there. So he talks in The Half That Has Never Been Told. He talks about how we don't know about how when they stopped importing us from Africa, how they would come to places like Maryland and New York and start selling us and moving us to the South. And how many?
Yeah, that's the story of 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I mean, not just the stealing, but the actual before the it was. And I was reading that shit. I'm like, God damn, because even a lot of the highways that go south are the very trails that we walked from, you know what I'm saying, from Maryland to Alabama or some shit like that, from Maryland to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
These were the the very expressways. In many cases, are the same paths that they would take us on foot from up there by experiencing one level of slavery to a whole nother beast. Then when he gets into describing the machine that these motherfuckers like that they still use today, because a lot of people don't even understand that a lot of the management skills and a lot of the bookkeeping methods were perfected on these plantations on us. So the very things that we talk about, Excel and the spreadsheets and shit, all that shit came up out of them getting us to produce cotton. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he not only gives you the facts, but he gives you stories that he was able to dig up or create. The shit is dope. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about going to read that shit again.
And it's definitely nonfiction, though, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what. That's why I'm asking, because you said a novel or a biography. I don't know what his shit fall into. It's sort of like Malcolm Gladwell, because I don't know what to classify Malcolm Gladwell, because Malcolm Gladwell weaves a story in so tight around the shit that he presenting that you don't know whether you're reading a fucking story or you're learning a lesson.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Malcolm Gladwell's from the New Yorker. He's a king, well, a great feature writer, and that's his job. You know, he's kind of the feature writers. If you have a great feature writer like him, as well as what is his name, Ta-Nehisi Coates, who does the Atlantic, Jelani Cobb, they all are able to connect, and that is a gift. Like, people, and it's kind of a curse as well, because you don't want people to think that this is not real. So there has to be a whole lot of footnotes,
right,
like that, to let people know that this stuff that they're talking about is real, because they have that ability to that storytelling ability that they have is almost like you say, like it's a novel. But family is like, this particular novel is something that every child should be, it should be standard reading for every child starting in the 3rd grade. Like, as soon as they learn how to read and kind of really grasp concepts and everything, I would say that child should be reading this book 3rd or 4th grade. It should be as standard as Catcher in the Rye, or To Kill a Mockingbird. It should be standard reading for.
I don't know how I made it through high school. I ain't never read none of that shit. According to people, like, we had to read. I never even seen Catcher in the Rye. I had never seen The Mockingbird. People like, I read it in high school. We had to read. I was like, damn, I was deprived.
But I went to private school too, so that might be a little different.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear the difference, right? Y'all hear the difference?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But family, we are at 74 minutes, and I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. I want to thank Sister Jackie for joining us. It was a pleasure speaking with her. She dropping wisdom. She's an excellent writer. I don't know if she writes for any magazines now, but tell them where they can find you on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. So if they,
I'm actually getting ready to do something totally different.
What?
I'm getting ready. Yeah. I'm getting ready to do something totally different. I'll talk to you about that on the backdrop. But a different stream of income has come available. I don't know if you've seen my cover page, but that was supposed to indicate to you to give me a call. Look at my cover page, my cover photo. Facebook.
Hold on.
But nah, I ain't set up.
Hold on. I'm about to go there now. Because you know I jump on there and jump off because sometimes some people be so goddamn depressing, Jackie. I got a lot of people struggling on my timeline. I be like, oh
man, I don't even get that. I hear people always having these horror stories about Facebook and what they read, and then I'm like, I got such a positive group, and it's awesome. I'll never have any problems like that. It's so enjoyable.
Because you stay in the group. Facebook. Like I stay in my group. I go to my group and shit.
I'm saying on my page, first of all, don't nobody usually post on my page except my aunt crazy stuff. But other than that, you know, I go to the groups. Like you said, I look at different groups, the Detroit group to keep up. And I also look at, you know, our little group that we have for my family and stuff like that. So it's real positive.
All right, I'm about to go to your cover page right now. You said right on the moon. Girl, you look like Tupac
right
with wings coming out your... With wings coming out your back.
Tupac.
Yeah, with wings coming out your back. Only God could judge me.
But what does it say?
Grand Tunda at Mob.
No, what does the photo caption say?
Photo caption. Hold on. You talking French to me
when
right
you
now.
Click on the picture, when you click on the picture, there's a caption.
Hold on. Back up. Let me back up. I don't see no caption.
Did you click on the picture?
I'm trying to. The Rotunda.
My name? That's
Yeah.
what my name is?
Yeah, with the wings coming out your back?
Yeah, but I mean, to your right, there's the comment, there's my name, there's the photo. I mean,
ready for a new life, new career. I got it. On my way. Long time coming. Okay, well, we're going to have to talk.
Yeah.
It ain't Amway, is
I gotta keep... Huh?
I said it ain't Amway, is it?
Nah, I'm getting ready to learn a totally new skill for a slice of industry that is not going nowhere, and it is burgeoning and blowing up.
All right, so we're going to talk.
I'm going to learn this skill, but I'm going to still be writing and everything. But I'm
still waiting for a movie, and I don't know who's going to play me now. Shit. Wesley Snipes out the game.
You know what?
Where the movie at? Where the movie at? Don't act brand new. Like, what? Where the movie at?
Look, I had to suspend the movie situation for contractual issues with Jamie Davis and others.
Okay. All right. So once again, black folks done killed my dream. Black folks won't.
We will have to circle around and come up with a nice little prenup for that.
All right.
I told you I was going to need a contract. Everybody got to sign off.
So
Monica getting ready to do something with a reality. Ooh. Hey, I'll talk to you about that.
Right. But listen, we don't get off the phone for Jack give up all the beans and give up all the stories and have niggas facing 20 to life. But listen, this is Brother Hatem. I want to thank y'all for joining us in the congregation of mighty. We are Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of December production. Of course, you know you have been listening to Tribal Quotes. Strive to blow up your old paradigm.